Now, entertainment, live music, competitions and lively chat with a cutting edge. Join the host with attitude in The James Whale Show.
The Royal Liberty Morris men are about to perform the Horn Church Horn Dance. Now, this is an ancient fertility rite, no less. And you know, I can almost feel something stirring inside me. Roll titles. Ladies and gentlemen, the Horn Church. Ladies and gentlemen, the Royal Liberty Morris men now perform an ancient dance. It is the Horn Church Horn Dance. I thank you. Now, when I first saw that, hold on, good evening, by the way. When I first saw that, I said to the, are you sure that we can show this on television? But the Royal Liberty Morris men are a traditional Packer, or is it Pucker? Morris group. There's no fun in this at all. It's deadly serious. They do this, isn't that right? Absolutely, and I salute you for it. And that dance dates back to the 12th century. And it was a fertility dance, is that right?
That's right.
Yes. And you do perform this quite regularly?
Yeah, as regular as we can, right?
Yeah, okay. And with the bells on the legs and all the other bits and pieces. And this is a 12th century costume you're wearing, presumably, or
yeah. Smelling a bit now.
Yes, it would be if you haven't washed it anyway. And that was educational. And thank you very much. What do you do? You're not. There's a teacher in there and a.
I'm a BT engineer.
Oh, are you really? Yes. Well, thank you very much indeed, and give the Royal Liberty Morris men a nice round of applause. Thank you. Don't even think about it.
Actually, that's the one I like. The one with the girl with the girl.
Please, come here.
The pink cock.
I know. Yes, all right. Thank you very much indeed. Right. Jerry, did...
thought the Liberals had their conference.
I mean, but I do apologise at home the way we seem to be deteriorating tonight, but I'm told by my producers and my researchers that they say that is a traditional 12th century dance, and I take them. I take that, but would you shut
condoms in the 12th century?
No, but you have to bring things up
or
to
rings
date.
through their nipples.
I'm not arguing
Not
with you.
BT engineers.
Do you want to spot? All right, okay.
I'll go back to...
Exactly right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here's Cookie. Okay, right, I'm still embarrassed about that last bit, but still, never mind. Now, just to prove, again, we do at this particular time, that there is more to Cookie than just a fantastic brain. Figure, okay, are you well? I did ask you to wear something next to... I asked you to cover up. Why did you not do that?
Sorry, well, this is me.
Oh, okay, fine. Right, this is a difficult one. What...
No, it doesn't hurt at
Oh,
all.
for goodness sake, can we get on with the programme?
Thank you for your concern.
Okay, before the competition, God, that's all muscle, isn't it? Yeah. Have a look at that. Yeah. Right. Okay. What can you tell me about the diet of the robber crab?
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
What can you tell me about the diet of the? I've never even heard of a robber crab. Oh, have you? Yes.
Yeah. Well, I know they eat coconuts, and I don't know what else they eat, but I know they eat coconuts.
Absolutely right. Good. We have on the show now, we have somebody actually who works full-time on working these very difficult questions out, and she knows them all. Right, competition. Winner from a couple of weeks ago is...
Julia Kirk from Lancing in West Sussex.
Whoa! And if you would like to be the recipient of one of our fantastic holidays in a nice warm spot, all you have to do is answer this one simple question, which Cookie will now read to you. Coming out of her mouth, out of that head which has that super brain in, and the rest of it, of course, you can see for yourselves. The question is...
Right, okay. Sorry.
What?
Okay. Who or what... Okay. Who or what did Tom Hanks fall in love with in the film Splash? Was it A, mermaid, or was it B, barmaid, or was it C, boys brigade?
0891 48 49 50. The lines are open till midnight Sunday. Now, as you know, very nice, Anthony. I nearly fell off there. I don't know what it's supposed to be, Anthony, but I'll check with you later. It's nice. It's coming on. It's coming on nicely. Yeah, yeah. As you know, we try to strive to bring things to the TV public that have never been on television before, and I think we succeeded here. Meet Mike Dash, ladies and gentlemen, over here. Mike, welcome to the programme. Thank you for coming along. Now, Mike is the joint editor of the Fortean Times. The Fortean Times, and I'll move over this way. The Fortean Times, a wonderful periodical that chronicles some of the more unusual things, is that right?
That's right, anything weird, strange, unusual, or just plain bizarre.
You have an exhibition which is called Of Monsters and Miracles, which we're going to look at a little bit now. It's at the Clock Tower, the heart of the heart of culture in this country, the Croydon Clock Tower, until November, and then you're taking it off around the country for people to have a close look. Right. Shall we begin?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, shall we start, first of all, with the hare?
It's not actually a hare, it's a jackalope. It's a fabled animal. Billions of them used to roam the prairies of North America.
Yes.
Until, unfortunately, they were found not to exist and they disappeared very shortly thereafter.
Okay, and this is an animal that is no longer with us. It is a hare, but it has antlers.
Correct.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, hares and deer eat the same sort of, and they yeah, fine. Now, this is, you know, I think we should be aware of what is out there in the... Tell me, what is wrong with that woman in the second row? Can you just have a look? What is wrong with you? This is educational, for goodness sake. Just because you're wearing those shiny tights... I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. It's a serious... Cookie, why don't... Come here. I'm sorry about this, Mike. Okay, so that's a jackalope, and very interesting it is too. Could you come here and just put this down? and just help out a little bit. You're messing around, chatting up to everybody. Okay, next, bit of foil here, Mike. Could you hold this up and model this to the camera? Don't. That's very... Tell me about it.
Oh, highly delicate.
Yes.
Supposedly it's a piece from the UFO that crashed at Roswell in New Mexico, which was the source of the amazing Alien Autopsy film, which is so controversial at the moment.
Yeah.
And it allegedly has the property that if you wad it up into a ball, it will spring back into shape, and that shows that it is of extraterrestrial origin.
Can we do that?
You can
Roll
give
it
it a
up into a
go.
ball, and it will spring back into shape.
We sincerely hope.
Okay.
Give it a few minutes.
Give it a few minutes.
It could also be cooking foil, of course.
Never mind, never... Yes, okay, well, anyway, no, I mean, but it could be, couldn't it, from the Roswell... There's nothing...
We've been assured
okay,
it is.
this one, please, cook. Okay, shake that up and let the camera see it. Okay, talk me through this, Mike.
Well, you've heard the expression, weird shit happens. This is the actual weird shit. It's supposed to be a sample of
Feces, we'd like to refer to that
Bigfoot dung.
Yes, feces.
Collected from the site of a series of Bigfoot footprints in Oregon.
Show the... Go and take it around, show the audience while we're talking about it. Yes, okay. No, just show it. No, don't undo the bottle. Just show them and go on. So, Mike, this is actually Bigfoot feces. How do you know, though?
Well, we can't be sure. Analysis shows that it contains beetle wings and berries.
Yes.
And as I say, it was found by the side of a number of large footprints.
Okay. Good.
Which
You're excited about this.
I'm...
Cookie, this next one, and the camera's going to have to work harder to get it right. Okay. Hold it steady. Mike?
This is a two-headed dogfish, which had it had a chance to grow a bit bigger, would have become an extra large rock salmon and chips.
Yeah. This is actually a two-headed dogfish.
It's the dogfish equivalent of Siamese twins.
I see. That actually is not fun. I mean, it's one of these things in nature that happens that people aren't aware of. I mean, and this animal grew to that size.
Yeah.
And
they're very common in museums. Most museums will have a two-headed calf or something similar stowed away in the basement somewhere.
Yeah. So two-headed animals of all sorts are not unusual.
Unfortunately not.
No, so this is, okay. The next one is even more interesting. Can you pick this one up there or not? No, it's a bit heavy. Can you? Oh, okay, fine. Right, Mike.
A mermaid, it comes from Japan. It's early 19th century. And it's made from a monkey's head, which has been sewn onto the tail of a fish.
Oh, this isn't real. I thought this was a real...
Well, sadly not. They were...
Damn.
A number of sea captains got hold of these things in the early 19th century and brought them back to Europe, where they were exhibited as genuine and fooled an awful lot of people. But they're possibly ritual objects used to assure a good harvest of fish in the sea around Japan.
So this is... Move it in the shot a bit. There we are. So this is a real monkey skull, top, torso, and a bottom half of a real fish.
That's right.
Together. Well, it's fascinating, and you've got some very, very unusual other things at the exhibition, and make you feel quite weird, don't they? I like this one best of all, don't you? I think that's, it's rather nice. We should have given that to the Morris men. So that's a jackalope, and isn't he sad he's not alive? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mike Dash. Thank you. Mike. Okay. Now for your delectation, entertainment, ladies and gentlemen, please would you welcome Mr. Billy Boy Brown whistling for you Rhapsody in Blue. I thank you. When we first saw that, we didn't believe it, so we invited him into the office, and everybody, he actually is whistling. And I don't know whether he swallowed something or not, but no, nothing in there at all. OK, and we'll see more of Billy Boy Brown a little later on in the show. Right, before the break, the competition, your chance to win a holiday for 2 people in a nice, warm, exotic place. All you have to do is phone us with the answer to this one simple question. All right, the question is... Where is the question? Let's have where's the question? OK, right. Quickly. No, I've forgotten. And you've got it. OK,
Who
right.
or what did Tom Hanks fall in love with in the film Splash? Was it A,
Mermaid,
B, Barmaid,
C,
Boys Brigade?
0891 48 49 50. The lines are open till midnight Sunday. Call us with your answer now.
Wakey, wakey! It's party time!
0891 23 23 23.
Strictly entre nous, I must tell you about Bird's Eye's range of fish cuisine. This one's vegetable Tuscany bake. Lovely fillet of fish with a delicious cheesy topping of leeks, carrots, juicy onions and broccoli florets. Wonderful. Bird's Eye fish cuisine. Fish worth talking about.
For the baby, we need a crib.
And is there a washing machine that's quiet?
Fast.
And economical too?
Bosch says yes. The Bosch 2000 series washes quietly, quickly and economically.
3 good things in one.
Bosch. Excellence comes as standard.
Venture beyond with Techno Nights Ambient Dawn, the ultimate club experience on one double album. Kicking and chilling with Carl Craig, Orbital and Beloved. DJ Hell, Aphex Twin and Enigma. Moby, Prodigy and Björk. The Chemical Brothers and Vangelis. Techno Nights Ambient Dawn. It's out there.
Is that the time? Oh, your hair is lovely, dear. That'll be the bridesmaids.
Come on, love. Look, I've even got your old favourites.
Kellogg's cornflakes. Delicious flakes of corn drenched in ice-cold milk. How could you have forgotten how good they taste?
Steve's got a lot to live up to, Dad.
Kellogg's cornflakes. Too good to be forgotten.
When we launch a new car, we like to drop it. But because this new Polo is so solid, we thought we'd really drop it.
It's spacious, aerodynamic, power steering, but above all, this is the safest Polo we've ever built, with optional twin airbags and ABS brakes. The new Volkswagen Polo.
Peter, get a move on. Big day today.
Okay, Mum.
And dress nicely.
When you've only one good shirt.
Hello.
One important interview.
And who's that?
Granny?
And one chance. New generation Persil liquid now has grease releases to get rid of more greasy stains like this first time.
Relax, you'll make it.
I like your attitude. Thanks very much. This is good. Very good. See you next week.
Persil performs brilliantly, and it shows.
Hello, dear listener, dear viewer, dear friend. It's... What? What? Oh, good. OK, Michael. Sorry about that. Sorry to step on your territory, Mr. Mansfield. I do apologise. I'll get on with my presenting and you carry on with the directing. And may I say that you're such a spiffing director. Anyway, I've got the whale cam here. Can we take a shot? This is me looking down at my script. Look, this is what I see. Is that good? That's my next guest, Alan Amos. Very nice, isn't it? And that's my hand picking up my pen, which I continually just to doodle. Very good it is. Right, we're back with Billy Boy Brown whistling for your delectation a little something from Singing in the Rain. Watch him closely. Yeah. What a glorious feeling. I'm happy. Thank you very much indeed. Billy Boy Brown and Singing in the Rain. More from him later. My next guest was the Tory MP for Hexham in Northumberland until he resigned prior to the 1992 general election. He has now joined the Labour Party. And here to tell us why, ladies and gentlemen, please will you welcome Mr. Alan Amos. Yo! Alan, thank you for coming on the show. Nice to see you.
Pleasure.
And after seeing Jerry Hayes' antics, need we ask you why? But, I'm sorry. I know that you said, and I'll just read a bit from here, it says that you say you were repelled by the foreigner-hating, minority-bashing tendency in the Tory party, but it was always there, and I wonder why you perhaps sort of didn't know this when you first became a Tory MP.
Well, I was aware of that at the time. My perception then was that it's something you have to put up with if you're a member of the Conservative Party. I never liked it. I always found it rather distasteful. But that was my perception then, and I've now undergone a fundamental and radical change in my political views.
It was almost like the road to Damascus, wasn't it? For reading in the newspapers between... I mean, it was almost, if you're walking along the street one day, you were an out-and-out Tory, and then suddenly, bam! You saw some kind of light.
Well, it didn't happen quite that quickly. I took about 2 or 3 years to think very deeply and carefully what I actually believed in and what I wanted to do. And the process took about, I'd say, two or 3 years before I made the final decision. So,
I mean, you must have had an enormous amount of mail from people. Not nice mail, I would imagine, and some people saying well done or whatever. Has it affected you? Any of the sort of...
Well, at the moment, having made the decision and told the whole world that I'm now a very proud member of the Labour Party, is a kind of release. I feel reinvigorated, and I'm very much looking forward to the battles ahead. Yes, you're right. That you always get people, hypocrites and bigots writing letters, but I mean, they don't worry me because those people always exist.
What, have you met Tony Blair?
I was at Oxford with him, yes.
You were?
Yes.
And since you decided that, presumably you rang him up if you were at Oxford with him. I mean, a lot of people, were you in the same sort of, I don't know, class or whatever?
Genre.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay, do you ring him up and say, Tony, my old mate, I'm thinking of coming over to your side, what are the chances?
No, I didn't do that, no. I had to make the decision myself. I wanted to make sure it was the decision I wanted to make and do it for the right reasons.
You haven't really been received that well by the Labour Party because they've made you go through a selection process, haven't they?
No, they've been very welcoming, very enthusiastic, very keen, and they're kind, decent people, very welcoming.
But didn't you feel they would have adopted you as a prospective MP straight away without having to go through any of these preliminary...
No, not really. I mean, I haven't joined the Labour Party to be an MP. I mean, I haven't joined it...
This is interesting because I'd understood from everything that the next step was Alan Amos, MP for Labour. That was likely to come about.
That's a nice idea.
You're not against the idea, then?
Certainly not, no. But that's not the reason I've joined the Labour Party. I've joined the Labour Party because I believe in things, social and economic justice, a strong, united Europe, and they're only achievable in the Labour Party. So I want to play my bit in getting a Labour victory at the next general election, in whatever capacity I happen to have.
Some people have said, and maybe it's unfairly, I don't know, you'll tell me, that because of what happened to you back in 1992, that you were sort of kicked out and that you've been looking for a way to get back at them.
Well, I'm a human person like everybody else. I think the way I was treated by this small clique of county-set snobs who run the party
Should we just, before we
was
go...
pretty bad.
OK, before we go to that, should we just remind people what actually did happen?
Yes, I did not seek re-election in 1992. I was stabbed in the back by this small clique. The police, who were given confidential information on the understanding that it would be firmly confidential, nonetheless, this information found its way into the hands of the gutter press within hours.
I was under the impression, though, that the police had actually found you in situ on Hampstead Heath.
Well,
some may say something like, you know, Hugh Grant springs to mind, but something along those lines.
Well, there was a silly incident, yes, but I mean, had it been the case that I'd embezzled money, sold the nation's secret, been drunk driving, had I injured somebody, well, then one could understand perhaps a bit of the reaction. But all that happened was it brought out the worst in people, you know, the latent hypocrisy and bigotry.
Know, Alan, I have to say, I mean, you're very brave to come on television and talk about this, but I have to say, why are we so preoccupied in this country about sex? And what they, you know, abroad people wouldn't... we couldn't care less about violence. You know, why on earth are we preoccupied? I don't know.
That's right.
So anyway, the people in your constituency party didn't like the sort of publicity you were getting.
Well,
and
a small clique a small clique only. It was never put to the membership.
Okay.
Because they knew that they would back me.
And do I actually believe that you spent 5 years representing this area in Northumberland, that afterwards you never even got a letter of thanks?
That's absolutely correct, yes. It shows what sort of people they are, but at least the hypocrisy had stopped, I felt, at that stage.
Do you think you will ever get back into Parliament as an MP? It's a very... I'm trying to think of an MP who changed parties. I can't... Can you... What do you think?
Winston Churchill.
Winston Churchill did, you're right, but that, you know... You're not emulating Winston
No,
Churchill.
I'm not in that class.
Do you think you're going to manage to do it or not?
I would love to, but I don't think it's just up to me. I don't deny that I've got political ambitions, but the only ambition I've got at the moment is to do something to help the Labour Party win the next election.
Well, another quote that I thought was quite nice is you say, "My weapon is knowledge. I know about the Conservative Party from local government, from central office, from the parliamentary party. They will find me a formidable opponent. The fight back starts here."
Good stuff, isn't it?
I mean, that
I actually wrote that.
You wrote that?
Yeah. Good.
Well, what have you got planned?
Well, as I say, I just want to work for the Labour Party for the general election.
Yeah.
I also did some other good quotes. Foreigner bashing, minority hating.
and topping those twits, I think, was another of yours. And, yes, allegedly.
Yeah.
It's like talking to a sort of a spy, really, isn't it? Somebody who's... It's like talking to a sort of a Mata Hari.
Well, that's not the immediate analogy that comes to my mind, but still.
Yeah, or James Bond, I suppose you rather...
That's preferable, yeah.
Well, Alan, listen, I think you're a very brave man talking about it so openly, and I was going to say I wish you well, but I will watch what happens with interest. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alan Amos. The only thing I was thinking, Alan, is I was thinking whether I should say this or not, because, you know, Hugh Grant's probably so fed up with the whole thing, but, you know, the amount of money that Divine Brown made out of it is a shame you couldn't work some... I suppose if you'd done it now, or if it had been happening now, it'd be a completely different sort of story, wouldn't it?
It would, I'm sure.
Never mind. Anyway, what you need is a PR man, that's probably it. Right, music please now from Robin Scott. Which camera? That one will do? I think that'll do, okay. Robin Scott and Kicking Up the Pavement!
Not sleeping, she's keeping me awake. Someone's playing music at the dark side of the lake, and I wish that I could be there. We are more than I can take. I was sitting in the sun, catching some rays. Am I here where you say? Do I deal when you play my perfect love? You're a perfect mess. Do we go on kicking up pavement? Yeah, we dance around in circles, hardly ever speak. We're both too good at sermons to practice what we preach. She's not easy when she's angry, she's worse when I am weak. I was sitting in the sun, I was catching some rays. Am I here where you say? Do I deal when you play my perfect love? You're a perfect mess. Do we go on kicking up the pavement? we always end this way?
Robin Scott and Picking Up the Pavement. Thank you, Robin. We'll have more from him a little later. Now, Jerry is with us in his guise now as an MP, and one thing that MPs get is a lot of letters. And this is a very worrying letter. This letter actually came to you, Jerry, a while back, and after reading it, I couldn't believe it. You set up the story.
Yeah, this was a guy who came to see me sometime in January because he wanted to interview me about something I was interested in. I suddenly got this letter about a week ago, and it says this, and I'll paraphrase some of it for legal reasons. I'm in a bit of a pickle. I'm staying at a certain hospital, but I can't mention the name. I was infected through medical negligence by a multi-drug resistant tuberculosis. This was because they carried out a procedure called an induced sputum, and I won't go into the detail. But what they say is this: I'm now infected with a disease that is very hard to treat. My chances of survival are unknown. Although I've been told I may live up to 2 years, and this is a guy of 24.
This is a guy with, make a point, he was HIV positive.
Yes, he's HIV positive.
Okay. He was getting medication in hospital.
He's getting medication in
What
hospital.
happened was that the hospital did something, they were experimenting or whatever. It wasn't on purpose, obviously, he now finds himself so contagious with a new virulent form of TB, stroke AIDS, that can be transmitted by...
Well, it's not stroke AIDS, it is TB, which is very, very resistant to drugs. And it's not something AIDS you've got, it's a disease of the blood. This can be caught through the air. So this is the situation he finds himself in now. The problem is that I've now become a real danger to public health, and I may have to spend the rest of my life in isolation.
Now, let's go to Paul, who's on the phone. All right, Paul, can you hear me?
Yes, hi, James.
Hello, Paul. Welcome to the programme.
Thank you.
Now, you're at this particular moment in your hospital room.
That's correct, yeah.
Could you describe to me the room?
It's a negative pressure room, which means that all the air blows in, all the air is filtered. There's an airlock just outside my room. The actual room itself is about 10 by 12. I have a small bathroom. There are bars at my window.
Why are there bars on your window?
I don't know. I think they may have always been there. They look quite old, but for me, you know, it's sort of it's quite daunting. The view overlooks an internal courtyard, so it's basically a brick wall. So I have no view either.
If you wanted to leave this room, what would happen?
I'd be sectioned.
Explain, sorry Paul, just to wait there for a moment, just explain, people might not know what being sectioned means.
Because I'm deemed to be a risk to the general public, it would become a public health issue, and I'd basically have to be locked in the room.
Okay, let's just go, let me go through this so it's simple for all of us. I'm losing myself.
I could be arrested in other words.
Basically, what we're saying is, through no fault of your own, you were given this infection.
Yes.
You are now so contagious as to be a risk to the rest of us.
That's correct.
And you are now unable to leave your hospital room.
That's correct, yes.
I didn't know we did this sort of thing in this day and age. I thought that sort of thing we did in Victorian times.
There is no choice in the matter. That is the difficulty. There's no choice, because if Paul goes out, if he coughs, if he splutters, if he sneezes, he could infect the next person in a bar, in a restaurant, anywhere. And they could have this disease as well. But this is nothing to do with AIDS, nothing to do with HIV. Sure. This guy is a prisoner in 1995, not through his own fault. And he's got...
So what is the solution? Who do we blame? Do we blame the... I noticed there's a letter from the consultant physician.
I mean, just read that bit in the letter, James.
Okay, Paul, you've obviously heard this before, but the consultant wrote back to you, said, I'm not sure apportioning blame is very easy, or perhaps more importantly, ever worthwhile. I honestly believe that nobody in our unit was at fault, but that does not mean that I have not had sleepless nights with worry and concern about people who are now suffering and whose liberty is curtailed. I mean, what do you want, Paul? Obviously, you contacted Jerry.
Yes.
You're contacting as many people in the media, I know, as you can.
Yeah.
And I think we have to actually, because when Jerry just mentioned it to me, first of all, and I didn't actually take it in. I said, well, that's very, you know, there are a lot of people who unfortunately are confined to... But the fact is, you are totally well.
That's correct, yes. I mean, I've got a mini gym in here, I work out. You know, I'm sort of worrying basically about my muscles just wasting away because there's nowhere to move around in here.
What's the... I mean, people in hospitals have got to be sorted out a little bit. Doctors are not the gods they think they are, and they have to be...
Yeah, I mean, science's inability to tame illnesses, isn't it? I mean, we got used to treating TB, and I'm afraid now it's back, and it's back in a new form, which is even harder to treat than the last lot. But the problem is that this country has no long-term TB strategy, because we've got so used to it being a controllable disease. And one of the reasons why I contacted Jerry is because I'd like to see a long-term TB strategy in this country. I mean, they had to build this isolation room around me. They had to knock down a wall. Now, I'm just the first of many. By the year 2006, the World Health Organization estimate that 30 million people worldwide will have TB. Where are we going to put them all? We can't put them all in rooms like this.
Paul, have you taken legal advice about this?
Yes, I have.
Because you might, I'm sure you're should be getting compensation of some sort.
Yeah, I mean... You know,
have you also... Sorry, Paul, have you also thought about breaking out? I mean, has it crossed your mind?
Yeah, I mean, only last night I had to be sedated, basically. I was very upset. I didn't know whether to chuck something through the window. I wanted to break the window or run out of the building. But the only thing that stops me from running out of the building is I do hope one day to be isolated in the community, which would mean, you know, I have to show some degree of responsibility, and running out of the door doesn't sort of show any responsibility, and of course there'd have to be a degree of trust.
I don't know, Paul, whether or not anybody will be, I'm sure they might be. If anybody wants to write to you, and I'm sure that getting letters is obviously
really
contact. If they write to us, we'll give them the address later, they'll get in touch with you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I don't know what to say, really. I don't know. I hope you're going to keep on the case and make sure that people in Parliament actually pay attention.
Yeah, can I just read the last 2 lines of his letter? It sums it up perfectly. This is Paul's words.
Yep.
These final years should be the best of my life. I'm healthy, yet I'm carrying a potentially killer disease, far more frightening than HIV ever was, because it's transmissible through the air. I find myself a prisoner in a small room because the medical profession cut corners and took a risk. And this is 1995.
I expect now to see this on the front page of the big-selling tabloid newspapers fairly
so.
soon. Thank you both.
Right.
I now will do a transition here, because it's very difficult. After talking about that, and then changing to the holiday competition before we go into the break and then come back for the final part of the programme, I did ask Cookie to leave me the questions. Thank you very much indeed there. For one moment, that's all right. And the question is, who or what did Tom Hanks fall in love with in the film Splash? You're not crying, are you?
No,
okay, fine, all right, okay. Who or what did Tom Hanks, that's your excuse, fall in love with the film Splash? Was it a mermaid, a barmaid, or the Boys Brigade? You could win a holiday for 2 people, somewhere nice and sunny. Call us on 0891 48 49 50. We'll be back to part 3 in a couple of minutes.
Competitive prices, huge range, a choice of electric, gas or dual fuel, good advice from sales staff who really know their product, and a 14-day exchange or money-back guarantee on all Value Plus cookers and fires. No wonder people enjoy shopping at the Energy Centre.
All junglers in the land, listen this. Drum and bass selection 5 is now touching down. Rewind my selector. 20 bad boy sounds for the original junglers. It's the most tearing collection yet. Available on double CD, double LP, and DJ Hype mixtape. Drum and bass selection 5 out now.
I'll bring you a little something. What would you like?
I like something exciting and a toy, and some chocolate.
But that's 3 wishes all at once. It's not possible.
But it is possible with Kinder Surprise, excitement, a toy, and extra milky chocolate. Kinder Surprise, 3 wishes in 1.
Heineken Export was first introduced to Italy in 1933, where it's had a huge following ever since.
Perché le vacanze di Alfredo sono sempre così lunghe?
Smooth-tasting Heineken Export, the world's favorite import.
Shell have removed about half the lead from 4-star petrol. So, if you want to halve the lead your car puts into the air, you don't need a new car. You just need a new petrol. Fill up at Shell and help make driving that little bit cleaner.
Back once again for the Renegade Master. You love clubbing? Then get Club Zone 2. If you club it, you'll love it. 32 extended killer cuts from the heart of Clubland. It's today's Essential Club album at a brilliant price. Club Zone 2. Now on Telstar.
Trade in your old cooker and get this oven and hob package for just £399.99. No wonder people enjoy shopping at the Energy Centre.
Okay, here, just to demonstrate this superb brain that's in that head of yours, I'm going to ask you another really, really difficult question, okay? Are you ready for this? The Trident submarine is a 3-stage, solid-fueled missile launched, I'm not going too quickly, am I? No. Okay, launched from a submarine. What is its range?
4,800.
Yes! Whoa! Oh, my golly! Rains as well! Great. Competition time. Last time tonight, your chance to win a holiday for 2 people for 1 week in the sun. All you have to do is answer this simple question.
Who or what did Tom Hanks fall in love with in the film Splash? Was it A, mermaid, B, barmaid, or C, boys brigade?
Okay, phone us on 0891 48 49 50. Lines are open till midnight Sunday, and the best of luck! Okay, now back to the music, Mr. Robin Scott, and All That You Do to Me. Yay!
Never call, you feel you're losing touch. I'm having dinner, hurricane, patiently waiting to blow away. Oh, I never thought I'd miss you so much. There's a stain on my window, carelessly burned when I smoke too much. I twist and I turn like I'm breaking up. I'm watching TV, game show host, some kind of contact. You sit so close. All that you do to me, because it's all that you do to me. That you do to me. because it's all that you do to me, 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 because it's all that you do to me.
Robin Scott and all that you do to me. Baz Bammingboy is here.
Hey!
We missed him last week. Well, we didn't miss you. You were there.
You saw me.
I'm sorry.
You saw
I'm sorry.
me.
Apollo 13, we were going to show a bit of last night.
Gripping, go see it. Well, it's on.
I know.
Wonderful.
And I said when I saw the clip that we were going to show before, I said, it's a bit dull, a bit dreary. And you
Well,
said...
listen. I went to see this film in New York where I see most movies,
Yeah.
as you know,
Yeah.
and I thought, why do I want to see this? I want to have my teeth pulled out without anaesthetic. But frankly, it's brilliant. I've seen it 3 times. I think it's probably...
3 times?
Yeah, I think it's probably going to win Tom Hanks a 3rd Academy Award for Best Actor. I think it's edge-of-your-seat stuff. I mean, the interesting thing is...
Because we all think we know the story.
I thought, sitting there, I know the story, I'm going to fall asleep, you know, with my Haagen-Dazs in hand. I didn't. I stayed awake, and I just loved every moment. And do you know the fascinating thing about it?
No.
These guys got back from outer space. They could have been, you know, they could have been dead, you know, not alive. But they got back using their brains, pencil and paper, no computers to help them. And you kind of wonder, with today's standard of education, whether people would have the brains to bring them back today. That's the interesting subtext of Apollo 13.
So you came up feeling really sort of...
I like it. I like this movie. I say go see. And I say go see Funny Bones, which I think we've got a clip of.
We got a clip of Funny Bones. Let's have a look.
Of this list, which do you think is the odd one out? House, school, dog, cinema, church.
Dog. Good. Because a dog wouldn't go to the cinema, would it?
Yes, that's us. I mean, Lee, that again, look, I have to be honest, but I said when we were looking through the clips, where's the sex? Where's the violence? And I said, well, no, it's Lee Evans doing something you wouldn't expect him to see.
No, Lee Evans is very good in Funny Bones. It's interesting. I was listening to the conversation we're having with Paul, and I was touched by it. And I'm touched, I think, by human drama. This is supposedly a comedy, but I was more moved by the drama of it all. Lee Evans is a half-brother of Oliver Platt, who's an American comedian. Lee Evans is the one who has instinctive, intuitive comedy. It's been bred into him by his father, who's played by Jerry Lewis. His mother is Leslie Caron. It's a lovely, pleasant movie.
Is it always, when you take a comedian, a very funny man like Lee Evans is, and you put him into a dramatic role, that people actually suddenly sort of say, oh...
That's
Whereas if it
right.
had been a dramatic actor, people wouldn't have said anything about it at all.
No, I think that's unfair. You know, look, he's either good or he's going to be bad, right?
Yeah.
And he's good.
Yeah.
It's worth seeing. Also, see Billy Crystal, Deborah Winger in Forget Paris, the best of what I call these travel brochure romantic movies.
Hang on, before we carry on, can I
Yeah.
get a shot of your script here? Can people on the whale cam?
It's
on
just
the whale
notes
cam.
in case I
Can you
forget.
read this? Can you look at this? I mean, how on earth can you read that? Look.
No, that's Cookie's address.
Oh, I see. Okay, fine. I just wondered how you could read that. This Kenneth Branagh film I saw a bit about as well.
In the bleak midwinter.
Yeah, and Kenneth Branagh was up there saying, it's my carry-on film, darling. It's my carry-on. I mean, it looks as if it could be very funny, but...
Well, I hope Ken says something a bit better to sell the movie, because it's better than a carry-on film,
Is it?
frankly. Yeah, it's good. Joan Collins is good, and it's...
and did they all do it
he's
for
not
next
in
to
it, but
nothing?
that's probably why it works, no. Yeah, they're going to get a slice of the profits.
So Joan Collins actually said, oh, I'll take... the whole thing he said as well is that all the technicians and all the actors and everybody got the same amount of money.
They did, but they're going to get a slice of the profits, and it's already in profit because it's been sold to an American studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's about a theatre troupe putting on Hamlet. And I thought, oh, yawn, please. But
Them taking the mickey out of themselves. As
absolutely.
Sort of
Taking the
lovies.
mivvy, sticking a pin up their what's it.
Oh, you're so graphic. You're never graphic like this in the newspaper, are you? Lastly, you've been away for weeks and weeks and weeks, trotting around the globe, Where was it? Where have you been?
I've been in France on holiday in a place
Yeah.
called Baume de Venise, where they make that wonderful after-dinner drink. We were on a mountain top with a swimming pool, my wife and son.
Yes,
that was
nice.
lovely.
We're more interested in whether you were working.
Then I've been to
anywhere,
the Venice Film Festival while I was working.
Right, and what was happening at the Venice Film Festival? Anybody there we should know about?
Kevin
Tell me.
Costner was there, yawn.
Kevin Costner, my hero. I liked Waterworld.
Oh, you liked Waterworld. I hated it. It stank, it soaked, it was full of holes. It's a piece of...
Yeah, no, come on.
And Tom Hanks, who's my fabouite actor at the moment.
Yes,
who else was there? Oh, Woody Allen's new movie, Mighty Aphrodite, but we'll talk about that in a couple of weeks.
Is it good? Yeah. Fabulous. Really? Right. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing font of all knowledge, Mr. Baz Babbingboy! My golly. It's hot in here tonight, let me tell you at home. It is, isn't it? It is hot. It's hot.
I've learned something.
You know, it's hot. I've got to go over here just for a few minutes and talk to Billy Boy, who... is microphone on? Billy, thank you for coming in. Can you talk or not?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I was amazed. I'll go down here, makes a better shot for us. I was amazed when you were singing. I mean, it didn't... Can you just whistle something for me? Not the song you're going to do in a moment. Just,
right.
Just... Yeah, it looks like you're not whistling. I mean, it looks as if you haven't got something in there, have you? Oh, you have?
Teeth and a tongue.
Really? Oh, let's get a look in the... Open your mouth. Let's have a look in there. Get it... Oh, it's a big one. Let's have a... There's nothing in there, is there? So it's a very strange way of whistling. How did you ever...
Well, I've done it since I was a kid. And then I did nursery rhymes.
Yeah. Have another look in your mouth here. We're going to have another quick... Oh, do a bit of whistling now. Do a bit of whistling. Go on. Just do a little bit of whistling. Okay. So you suddenly found you could do it?
Yeah. My second public performance.
Okay. Well, listen, you're going to do your final bit for us now tonight, which is going to be a rendition of... You've forgotten. Okay. Well, I mean... What's it going to be?
Blossom
Cherry pink.
And
apple blossom wine.
I knew it. It was just back to front, really.
Okay, fine. Ladies and gentlemen, Billy Boy Brown! Thank you very much indeed. Thank you all. Oh, you didn't get a chance to dance with him. It can still be a good weekend. See you next week, same time, same channel. Until then, au revoir. Thank you all. Thank you.